Congratulations. What a performance against a very, very dangerous striker. It seemed like in the first round, you were focusing on the lead leg. Is that the thing that he had in his last fight? Yes, üstüne olsun. Buradan ben arkadaşlar elimi açıyor. Love you, love you. Böyle yapmam sizler. Teşekkür ederim. Gezin benden arkadaşım. Ben en üstüme. Kral ve Beşa. Abi. Başta. Artık çıllar olsun. Azam beni. Teşekkür ederim. Nasıl? Bu gelene. Ağzına bakın gelmesi. Taçı. Yaş bir evlendi. Gelmişe. I want to thank the club and all the fans again. Was important to him. Yeah, I want to take a chance to thank my coach in America. I've been trying to get him to watch every aspect. Yes, the champ is trying to get candy plan. I mean, he's not getting it very well. I want to take a chance to thank all my teammates. Ribad, Rob, Chad, Richard, and my wife. Hey, it's your let me go ahead. Thank you, my team. Excellent team. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Eddie. I love you. Hey, Baba, give me top 15. Give me water. Let's go. You said you got ready for it. I can't wait to see you again. Ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so looks like I've been live for a couple minutes and you've just been watching me look at my screen and trying to figure out what's going on. The previous screen is frozen. I don't know what's happening. Look at my screen and okay, do a sound test on my iPad because I'm not getting anything on my computer screen for my preview. All right, guys, sorry for the late start. I've had a multitude of issues this morning with the internet and computer, and for some reason, I'm having a problem getting to show you what happens here. I get page not found when I try to click on the results from the prelims here. I don't know what is going on. And the previous screen is frozen, so I may still be having some sort of internet issue, but it's weird because if I watch this, guys, if I click on this and I go to next week's fight, and I can pull it up on my phone, but I can't pull it up on my computer screen here. Yeah, next week's fight comes up fine. But this one, not so much. I don't understand why it's doing this. But and then I got this annoying fact that I have no preview on my screen. Let me refresh again. Oh, and my face is frozen in a different position now. Oh, this is ridiculous. Yeah, this is really annoying. Trying to see my live preview again. I can't even start the live preview. Bye. And it starts and I'm frozen again. All right, so if you're just joining me, having some technical issues this morning. I can't pull up the results on my screen here. This is very annoying here. All right, so let me look here really quick though. So not a good start to my prelim fight picks. The first two I got wrong. I said Spacek would win, and she got choked out in round one. I said that Alexander Popik would win, and he got knocked out or dropped with a body kick and then finished with strikes on the ground by Jovan Lika. I did not realize that when I looked at it that this was a heavyweight fight. Of course, I did realize that Popik took it short notice. I was just much more impressed with his record, but then, like I said, he's a light heavyweight coming in on a few days or like a week and a half's notice to fight Lika, who is a heavyweight, like a 250-pound heavyweight against a 215-pound light heavyweight. So obviously it didn't work out well for him. So I got those first two wrong, and then I said that I was pretty confident in the pick on the third fight of the night with Nina Milosevic, that she would beat Haley Cohen, and she did in round one with a series of right crosses to the body against the southpaw, perfectly placed. And like as I was watching the fight, I thought she's going to throw a right straight to the solar plexus and hurt this girl, and then she did it twice and finished her. Then I got the next one, Rebeski. I said he would win, and he did in the first round. I said Bogdan Grad would win, and he won in the second round by an arm triangle. A little bit of controversy because people thought that maybe the referee stopped it too soon, that he wasn't tapping. I do think he was starting to tap, and then when the referee came in and started to separate him, he realized the choke was loosening up, and that's when he reached under his leg to defend the choke better. So yeah, you can't really complain too much about that. I'm sure they're going to protest that because they had another call in a fight, I believe, on the Netflix card from that team where they thought there was a really bad call. I think, if memory serves, there was. All right, so then we had Mark Nikolic. He won over Mark Volognin. Volognin looked really good early on, but Nikolic came back really strong. So, and I missed the end of that fight. And then Oliveira beat Obden Elliott in the first round. So what? I got how many right in a row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row right. And then, of course, Klein lost to Musayev. So I am currently sitting at 5-3 on my picks at the end of the prelims. So this next one, who did I pick in this next fight? Let me look back at I have a picture of my picks. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I haven't picked any of the main card fights. Look at the records on the computer. Oh, this is gonna really annoy me. Let me try again. All right. I'm wondering if I just close this out completely, go back into it. Maybe we can get it to work. I'm getting this far, no problem. Live now. Okay, if I click right on there, what happens? Okay, this is play-by-play. I don't want to see the play-by-play. I just want to see the results. Oh. Let's go back to Fight Finder. You get the same message. All right. Let me try something else here. Mixed martial art. Yeah, I did not pick my main card fights yet. They still have. Who's underground? Well, I've not been to mixedmartialarts.com in a while. Oh, does this work anymore? I don't think it shows us. No, it doesn't. Oh, that's awesome. This is annoying as heck. If I try to click into it from here. Yeah, I get the same message. Alright, I'll try something else here. A different browser. Let me look at these two guys that are fighting here on my phone, at least, even though I can't do it on the computer. All right, so Milos Janovic versus Noah Gagun. All right, so this guy is 19-3. Milos. Alex Oliveira, FNC. So he's making his UFC debut, apparently. But he is on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fight winning streak. Only lost 3 times in his entire career. Let's look at his opponent. We got Noah Gagnon from France, 25 years old, 9-2. Boy, on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fight winning streak, also making his UFC debut. Lost in Bellator by a knockout in the second round back in 2023, and then lost a decision in Fight Park Championship. I don't know what that even is. By decision. All finishes prior to those 2 losses, and all finishes since. Let me go back to this opponent. Let me go back to his opponent here. Yeah, it's going to be another ridiculously difficult fight to pick. How many finishes does this guy have? TKO, TKO. Oh my gosh. This guy also a 100, almost. In his wins, he has a 100% finish rate also. So I'm going to pick. Man. I think I'm going to pick Janovic, Milos Janovic, just because he has more experience. They both have 100% finishing rates. This is very annoying. Oh, what the heck? I don't understand why my preview is frozen. It will not play. This is super annoying. I have to just do this the old-fashioned way and set my Don't know why it's doing this. Yeah. Don't know why it's doing that. Okay, well, at least I can see me on. All right, there we go. Oh, this has not been a good day. Let me see if I can get to. All right, we got a fighter coming out to the cage right now. Try to get my timer up here also. Try to get the multi-cam going on my other screen here. And as I've said, it's the official drink of Wolverine MMA live stream. Official energy drink, Celsius. Not a paid sponsorship, but if they want to pay me, I would totally accept a paycheck. All right, I'm trying here to get this up on the screen. Let's see. Try a different browser. Sure, dog.
Yeah, exactly. This guy's got 6 knockouts in the very first round as well. So that's the way he's coming into this fight so confident. I've fought the martial arts, started off doing judo, transition to boxing, and then now, of course, mixed martial arts.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's see here. I click on it and see what happens here. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's going on the other browser, but at least we can see it on this one. So there was PFL last night. I started to watch the prelims, and then the main card was only available on regular ESPN, which I had no way of getting. So that's my question with the new PFL MVP merger. What is it going to be on? If it's going to be on Netflix, then great, people will be able to watch it. But if not, that's where they're going to have issues. All right, so yeah, I'm predicting Janicic in this fight. He's coming to the cage right now. Multicam. All right. So, predicting here on this one, Noah Verbena. I'm not sure if I know of this guy. So let's check him out here. So we're talking middleweight, 14-3. Yes, I accept cookies. I always click accept cookies, and nobody ever sends me any cookies. I would take some protein cookies. Maybe not any regular cookies. All right, making his UFC debut. Is this another guy who's never won by a decision? He's lost by decision. Never won by a decision. 100% finishing rate as well. 0 decisions. 100% finishing rate. 14-3. Fighting out of Serbia. Ooh, not looking good for Urbina. Let's look at Urbina's record. Also, let me Boy, this preview screen thing is really annoying me. Okay, there. We got my timer up on the screen. Pull this over here. You can see it. Okay, here. So, do have my timer ready, even if live preview is not working on my computer. 7-4 is Gilbert Urbina's record. Coming off of 2 straight losses. Yeah, definitely going with the Serbian fighter in this one. So, yeah. So going Janicic and going Kepo in the next one. All right, so there's my picks for the next 2 fights. Like I said, what am I on my picks so far? Where is I can't scroll down for some reason. Where's my old school mouse here? Okay, so first 2 I got wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights right. So I'm 5-3 on the prelims, and I'm picking Milos in this one and Kepo in the second fight of the main card. So let's see what happens. And I'm going to look at the screen anyways. What is going on over here? I don't have my multicam playing. Okay. Get my timer. Ready with the timer. Okay. So, all right, we're on. I can mute my audio over here. All right. So I believe they just said referee on this fight be reffing the main event. Oh my gosh. This may be another bad call. This dude does not like getting low kicked. And he's already taken a few low kicks, so he needs to get something going right away here. Milos can't take low kick. Oh, are you freaking kidding me? Okay, so yeah, the commentator said this guy is not good at taking low kicks. Took a few low kicks and went down. How do you have that many fights and you don't know how to take a low kick? What the heck? How many fights did I just say this dude had? Oh, now he gave the dude his back. All right, he's trying to defend. 19-3 and you can't defend low kicks? And it's over. All right, well, that was ridiculous. Yeah. How do you have 22 fights, 19-3, and you cannot take one low kick? What the heck? All right. Let me get back to my timer here. Stop it. That was a ridiculous fight. I really hope they don't have this guy back. If you can't take one low kick, why are you there? Oh, yeah, this is a sad fight, man. Man, I don't like trash fighters, but what the heck, man? How do you make your UFC debut? That many fights, I'm gonna try something else over here, guys, really quick. While we're at a commercial, it's gonna close out my browser completely and reload it. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. All right, reload it. Back to Rumble. Back to. What the heck is going on, man? Studio. All right. Back to this. Let's see. Back to school season had the whole family picking up things. Well. Less thing to worry about this school season. This is really annoying me today. I do not know why. My preview is not working. Super annoyed. That's the way my morning's been going, though. And I got my first pick on the main card totally wrong. Getting the live preview to work. It's just totally frozen. It starts and then it just freezes on my screen. But it's working fine on my iPad. I'm at a loss here, guys. I don't know what the heck. I've had a myriad of technical issues from the internet not working at all, to my microphone not wanting to connect. Yeah, well, that was rough. All right, let's look. Man, I definitely feel more confident with this next fight. Kepo sounds like a killing machine. And Urbina, we say his record was in the UFC. He's 7-4 overall. He's 1-3 in his UFC career. He lost to Medic. He was fighting in the main event later on tonight, or later on today. Yeah. So yeah, much more confident on this next pick. That was a very disappointing fight. I think we're going to see something good out of Kepo here next. I do have some more slides and stuff to send over to the computer from my phone. Have some interesting news. Let's see if I can get to my news slides. Yeah, I'll include that. Yeah, let me wait a second. What's this one? Yeah. Okay. Let me just pick my slides I want here really quick. Got a lot of interesting MMA stories. I'm going to send these over to the computer right now. All right. Where did those go? Oh, there they are. Okay. of those ones. Open these ones. Open these ones. Okay. Here we go. All right. Let me get this where I want it. Greg Jackson fighter. Okay, so a lot of this has to do with the MVP MMA stories. This is I guess, a thought that they're having right now that you know, MVP and PFL have combined, that this fight is a possibility. I don't see it happening. I don't think Ronda's coming back for any amount of money to fight Chris Cyborg. I would be completely shocked if that were to happen. Then we got Jake Paul saying UFC will no longer be the place where people judge fighters as to who the best in the world is. UFC fighters are oftentimes left underpaid and put on a shelf. We have seriously changed the game to any other fighters and any organization out there. You're going to want to fight out your contract and come join the biggest, the best, the highest paying, and the most viewed organization out there, which is MVP. Now, the one thing I'll say, well, I mean, it remains to be seen if, now that they've combined with PFL, if they're really going to be able to be the highest paying plus the most viewed. I mean, that all depends on if they're putting it on Netflix or if it's going to be behind some stupid paywall on ESPN where you need an additional service on top of ESPN Plus, or you have to subscribe to ESPN on cable. If they get that figured out, then yes, it could be pretty well watched. I still don't know if they're going to be able to compete with UFC. And you can look at, a lot of fighters that have gone to PFL over the years. Switch over to this camera for a minute. A lot of fighters that have gone to PFL over the years from the UFC have not even been ranked, have had losing records, have gone to PFL and become champions. So are they the best in the world? I'm not sure. Have we seen guys come over from PFL? And I mean, I guess if you count PFL and Bellator, you could say yes. Eddie Alvarez came over and became champion. Aaron Pico looked amazing in his last fight, but didn't look so. I mean, he looked good right up until he got knocked out with that spinning back elbow. But I mean, he was fighting one of the best in the world in that weight. So. So yeah, it all remains to be seen what they do. If it's on Netflix, then yes, I think they can do pretty good at competing with the UFC. Are the fighters really going to be the best in the world? I mean, they've already lost. The guy who was supposed to be fighting Ngannou has re-signed with the UFC, so that doesn't bode well. But we'll get down to another one here in a minute. So this is the last fight. Last night was the last fight. I did watch the highlights of Usman Nurmagomedov's fight from last night. He was pretty darn impressive, but look at who he was fighting. That was another thing. So that's the last fight on his contract. So they talk trash about Dana. Now how he doesn't pay. Now we're going to see how they're going to pay. So they're going to have to pay him a lot to keep him in the UFC. But then this is something Jake Paul said. I think it was Jake Paul. Oh no, that's not it. Not what I was looking for. this fight's for sure. This is a big one, and I really love seeing that one. So this is possible fight for Francis Ngannou, Rico Verhoeven. Uh, man, if Francis stands with Rico, it could be bad. Yeah, Francis can knock people out, but and yes, he's got the experience in MMA, but you're talking the best heavyweight kickboxer in the world right now. I mean, for years he's been the best heavyweight kickboxer, and then he just had like a really good fight with Usyk in boxing where he's not even allowed to use his kicks or his knees. So I mean, this could be interesting. I think Ngannou's got to go to wrestling and take him down like crazy if this fight were to happen like he did against Cyril Gane when they fought. And this so this is a statement by Jake Paul on Usman Nurmagomedov. Honestly, I think he would make light work of Gaethje. He hasn't fought anybody though. That's the thing. The fighters he's fought in PFL, I don't think compare to anybody that Gaethje has fought or to Gaethje. So I think that's a ridiculous statement. I don't know. I guess I mean we'll see if Jake Paul and MVP is willing to shell out the money to keep Usman there, then he's not going to be able to prove that he is truly the best in the world unless he goes and fights Gaethje and Max Holloway and all the best guys over in the UFC. This is the card we're watching right now. Let's see, are these correct? Yes. Okay, so this is the actual correct card. This girl looked amazing, Milosevic. I was super impressed with her. Like I said, I was more confident in these two picks than these two, because these fighters were really unknown to me. This one, you know, fairly unknown, but when you looked at her record, it was pretty insane. And she was undefeated as an amateur, lost her first pro fight, and had finished, I believe, every fight since then. And it was a split decision she lost, and her only loss. This girl, I'm expecting big things from this girl. She looked really, really good. Grod, I expected him to win. Arm triangle, you can question it, but it did look like a tap to me. It was one of those taps where maybe he was regretting as he was doing it. This kid looked tough, man. He's really undersized. I wonder if he could go 125. Obama Elliott, I didn't get to see any of this fight, but obviously Oliveira won by a knockout. And Musayev ended up beating Klein. This one did not go the way I picked because apparently this guy doesn't know how to take a low kick at all. And took like 3 and was done. I don't know if the guy had a leg injury, if he broke his foot on that first kick. I've gone into fights with broken feet and still won the fight. So, I mean, when you're at that level, if you break your foot kicking the guy, you got to keep on fighting. I've seen so many people break their feet early on in a fight and then go on and win the fight or at least go the distance. So, what the heck? That really irks me when I see a guy with that huge of an opportunity quit that quick. I don't know. I mean, I fought in the national championships as an amateur in kickboxing. I ate a ton of inside low kicks because the guy was just ridiculously fast. The inside of my thigh looked like hamburger. The kicks weren't hurting, but they were knocking my leg out from under me. I still went the distance. I won a round in that fight. I mean, I don't know. How do you get to that level and you can't take a couple of low kicks? Unless you came in with an injury, which, I mean, you got to accept what happens if you come in with an injury. All right, so we've got Kepo coming to the cage right now on my multicam. If you are watching and want to leave me a comment, I can see my comments. I just can't see my preview screen. I'm just gonna, this is annoying me, so I'm just gonna get rid of that right there. All right, bring that back up. So yeah, if you comment, I will respond to your comments. Oh man, this has been. All right. Yeah, Kepo, the guy is going to win this fight, is at the cage. When this fight's over, I'll give you my picks on the next two. Checo is how they're pronouncing his name.
Forward straight away, super aggressive, extremely hard, and he got to keep motion. That's 36 now. It's he wants the guy turned into a wrestler. That's what he brings to the table. Non-stop action. What you can say, right? 10 knockdowns, 4 submissions. This man is very, very big. And he was the red collar king when he was a soccer or football player. Back in the days, 5-time, all-time.
All right. Checo is the favorite over Urbina, but I mean, you look at their records, no wonder. So another thing I saw with PFL last night, Ditcheva, they've made a huge deal about her, and I do think she is very impressive. She does have a stoppage win over Talia Santos, who went the distance and gave Valentina Shevchenko a really difficult fight. But I thought she was a champion. I thought she was winning 5-round fights. And I look, and all of her fights are 3-round fights, and it wasn't for a belt last night. So I'm confused on that. I thought she had the belt for her weight in PFL, but apparently not. So that confused me. Women's flyweight, so not a championship fight. She's ranked number 1. So do they have a champ in her weight class? Why is she not the champ in her weight class? I don't get it. Yeah, and I did not see any of these other fights. I saw the highlights of both these fights. All right, let me get my timer here. And Mark Goddard, the best referees in the business. All right, might be like 2 seconds behind on my timer there, guys. I'm gonna switch my camera view over to here, so you're not seeing the side of my face. Oof. Oh man, Chepo coming in strong already. It's a firefight already, man. Urbina is backed up against the cage. He is throwing back. And a couple good shots. Chepo really reckless, and he gets hit and dropped. And Urbina jumps on him. This would be a huge upset here, man. Chepo needs to. He got way too reckless. Oh man. Oh no. All right, referees yelling at him to fight back. And it's over. My gosh. All right. Well, 0-2 on my picks on the main card. This is not looking great. Oh, my gosh. That's kind of embarrassing for a guy with that kind of record to come in and lose to a guy with that kind of record. He does train at Jackson Wink, so I mean he does have good training. but he did not have a great record. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is not. My picks have not been going well today. All right. This was the big local MMA news. We have not had MMA in Grand Junction since prior to COVID. So I don't. So this was posted by my friend Andrew. I do have a message out to him. I have reached out to him. At Golden Fights MMA was the fight promotion that put on Cage Wars last. It says we are honored to partner with Golden Fights MMA. So I asked him, is this event, are you guys promoting this? Are you co-promoting this with somebody else? I'd like to know more about it. I definitely want to be involved in some way, not fighting. The only way I would make a comeback, I'll tell you guys right now, would be to fight Anthony Ford again, full Muay Thai rules with MMA gloves on, in the cage. I'd love that. That's the only fight I'm interested in ever coming back for. Just because we were supposed to fight a third time and he bailed. It was supposed to be my biggest payday of my career for a world title, and he bailed out a month before the fight. So still, even not fighting in 9 years, I would go back for that fight. I feel like at 185 pounds, I could make that, and I feel like I would knock him out again, and it would be a lot of fun. So that's the only fight I'm ever interested in coming back for. But I would love to be involved with this event in some way. Maybe doing what I'm doing now, commentating on the event, doing a live stream from cage side and commentating with a commentary partner. I think that would be pretty darn fun. I would love that. So I'm going to get a hold of Andrew and whoever else is involved with this and see what I can get worked out. But yeah, I'm super stoked that there's MMA, and look at the name of it, WCL, Western Combat League. If you guys are watching on YouTube, you know what my YouTube name is, WCL Wolverine. It stood for World Combat League Wolverine because I had fought there, and that's when I made my original YouTube channel. I had just fought in the World Combat League, but heck, my name on YouTube is WCL Wolverine, so that would be awesome if I got to do something with this new WCL organization here in town. So if anybody's watching involved in this, contact me, because I really want to be involved somehow in the production. I would love to, like I said, do live commentary for a live stream of these fights. Let me know. I'm super interested. And if you can get a hold of Anthony Ford and get him to fight me in a pro Muay Thai fight with MMA gloves, I would do that too. I don't know if I'd do it in October, but I would definitely do it. Heck yeah, I would do it in October. But yeah. Wow, man, these picks are not going well for me tonight, guys. Today. Must be too early in the day. So I did go, 5-3, I said, on the prelims. I'm now 0-2 on the main card. This is just not the best. Let's look at this. So Dusko Todorovic, I've seen him fight. Hometown guy here. I've seen mixed results from the hometown fighters. He has a win over Jose Medina, his last fight, and had 3 losses in a row prior to that. Not the best visuals when you look at his UFC record here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 wins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses in the UFC. So wow, 4-6 in the UFC against Robert Valentine, the Viking, who was a finalist on Ultimate Fighter a couple seasons ago. Let's look at him. He won his last fight. I'm pretty sure he did. He's 11-6. I know he lost on the finals of Ultimate Fighter. He showed a lot of heart. I believe he got his arm broken, was still fighting. Oh. So, yeah. Wow. I knew he lost to Loader. I didn't realize he lost to Finney also. That was a split decision. Then he got TKO'd by Gauthier. And then came back with a rear naked choke submission over LeBlanc. So, man, 1-3 in the UFC. Lost the Ultimate Fighter finale right here. That was kind of weird. They had the Ultimate Fighter finale on just a fight night card. They didn't have the other fight because the fighter in the other division couldn't make it or something. So, 1-3 in the UFC. 6 overall. Rob Silva. I was super impressed with this guy on Ultimate Fighter. He looked really freaking good on Ultimate Fighter. Obviously, things have not gone the absolute best for him in the UFC. This may be another bad call, but I'm going Valentine because I just feel like the guy's got the skill to get it done. All right, then we got heavyweight fight. Rakic moving up against Tybura. Not a huge fan of either guy. What's Rakic's recent record? 14-6. Of course, it's at light heavyweight. Now he's moving up. I don't know what he weighed for this fight. 237 pounds, it looks like. I'm sure Tybura's chunky 250, 260. So, he had 4 straight losses in a row at light heavyweight. Beat Anthony Smith, beat Thiago Santos, lost to Ozdemir by a split decision. Ozdemir now out for quite a while. He did have some fairly big wins early on in his UFC career, though. Jimmy Manawa. Man. He's 34 years old. Let's look at Tybura. 27-11. What's his recent record look like? 2 straight losses. Delija and Tyrell Fortune. We saw Fortune fight last weekend. So lost to Spivak. The 2 wins in there. Beat Tuivasa. Everybody's beaten Tuivasa recently. Lost, of course, to Tom Aspinall, but he's the champ, so let him have that one. Lost to Volkov by a decision. Lost to Derek Lewis by a knockout. Man, 40 years old, doesn't matter as much in these heavier weight classes. I do think maybe we're going to see a better version of Rakic. Rakic looked really good against Yuri early on, and then Yuri just started doing crazy stuff and came back and beat him. Lost to Ankalaev by a decision. Ankalaev ended up being champ. Murzakanov is pretty good. Ranked fighter at light heavyweight. I am going to go with Rakic in this. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of either guy. So I'm going Valentin and Rakic. Switch my camera back over. I'm probably going to grab a new drink. Oh. All right, be right back, guys. Buddy.
Nicholas was trying to sit on the tramp.
All right.
Are you on that thing?
All right. So, commercial going, and we've got Valentin headed to the cage right now. Looks like he has been training at Extreme Couture. He has Dewey Cooper in his corner. It's a pretty good guy to be teaching you kickboxing. Is that who I think it is in his corner? That looks like the aforementioned Vulcan Ozdemir in his corner, guy who's suspended right now. Apparently, you can be suspended from fighting and still be in somebody's corner. Sorry, my drink is kind of frozen. Oh. All right. So when the next fight ends, Rakic Tabura fight, I'll give you my prediction on the co-main event. And then after the co-main event, I'll give you my prediction on the main event. That's a really tough fight to call. Does it bode well for Daniel Rodriguez that he spent 8 months in a Mexican prison? No. But the fact that he spent a good portion of that, in a cell where he was allowed to train boxing, I mean, that's a crazy story. I mean, they moved him to like a VIP cell. They put him in with guys that would hold pads for him. He built his own punching bag. He had a TV. I didn't know Mexico had prisons like that. Apparently, he was in a really crappy situation at first, and then he got moved to like VIP treatment because they found out he was a UFC fighter. Wild scenario. But Medic, man, he looks like a killer. So this is a tough one to call. Like I said, Rodriguez reminds me of old school Chris Lieben with his style. Right. So Todorovic is at the cage. It's not Dustin. That guy looks a lot like Dustin Poirier, but it's not him. Okay. I was thinking he had Dustin Poirier in his corner, but it's not. It's a guy, a Dustin Poirier lookalike. Know where Turtovich trains out of. So this is a big test, another big test for Valentin. Obviously, Turtovich not ranked, but pretty good fighter who's had quite a few fights in the UFC. Oh, Valentin is the favorite on the odds. I don't generally look at the odds prior to making my picks. So I did not know he was going to be the favorite. But I mean, we've seen favorites get knocked out tonight, so who knows what's going to happen. This has been a very interesting event. What do you guys think of Dana White saying when he was asked what fight he was looking forward to most on this card, just saying it was a stupid question? Do you think he didn't know who was fighting on this card? That was kind of a thought I had. They do so many events. That's why fighters don't get paid as much, because they have so many fighters that they're trying to keep busy. But if you look at it, if these guys were not fighting in the UFC, were fighting on regional events, they'd be getting paid a lot less than what they're getting paid in the UFC. So, I don't know. If you're fighting on a numbered UFC, you should be making a lot of money. If you're fighting on these events and you're not in the main event, I understand not getting paid, an incredible amount. Now Jake Paul being part of this new MVP PFL connection, I think it's going to be interesting. Are they going to be able to pay, a ton of money for fighters when they have a bigger roster? Ooh, Valentin knocks him over with a front kick. A little bit of a Sparta kick there. Goes high with another kick. Valentin getting a little reckless. He's on a guillotine choke here, though, on Todorovic. So knee, man, he's lifting him up off the ground with that guillotine choke. Todorovic tries to pull guard. He's got like a half. Valentin should bring that arm around and start dropping some left elbows. And he brings the arm around, cross faces him back flat onto the mat. Squeezing the neck a little bit. Driving the forehead into the jaw. Trying to, does get back to almost full guard. He's got a butterfly hook. Yeah, not much damage being done right now by Valentin. He had that great guillotine choke. He needs to get a little bit better position, start dropping some strikes, soften up Todorovic, try to pass that guard again. And now we got Todorovic scooting up against the fence. Let's see what Valentin does here. Oh, almost back in on the front headlock as Todorovic tries to dive in for the legs. It's over both arms, it looks like. Todorovic still trying to pick him up. Valentin, does get him down. Valentin on another guillotine, but he loses full guard here. Now he's in risk of a Von Flue choke. He's got to get that arm back over the neck, on the other side of the neck. And he looks like he is. He's got to turn his body, get some rotation here. Nope. And oh, my timer's gone. I am synced up with the timer here. Oh, Valentin reverses him. Now back in Todorovic's guard. He needs to land some shots here, drop some elbows, get past his guard. He's just like, he's putting him in a lot of risk here. He's got wrist control, trying for a triangle. But Valentin muscles his way out of that. Very motivated Todorovic. I believe he is of Serbian descent. Wants to win. Oh man, he's got a really high guard going here, and Valentin passes. He's got his back. To see him try to set. Ooh. Looked to me like he was trying for some sort of necktie move there. Now he was almost going for a rotulitine or something there. Todorovic back in on a single, and Valentin reverses back in on another guillotine. This one is way tighter. He's got an arm trapped, and he taps. Valentin wins by a guillotine. Nice. Man, he was going after that guillotine all night. Nice. Gets the first round finished by a guillotine. Yeah, some of these Serbian fighters have not had a good night. All right. Ooh, tied the record. They just said they tied the record for the most first round finishes on a event. All right, so we got Alexander Rakic versus Tabura next. I'm going with Rakic. I did predict Valentin would win this fight, and he does in the first round by a guillotine. Urbina really surprised me. So yeah, I'm now 1-2 on the main card. I was 5-3 on the prelims. If you are watching and you could share the link, I would really appreciate it. Don't have a ton of people on the stream this morning. No, it's not a big event, and it's early in the morning, so wasn't expecting the best. Yeah, that was a good win by Valentin. Todorovic was giving him a good fight. Yeah, a couple other things while I'm doing this, guys. Don't mind. I don't have a ton of people on the stream, so I'm gonna get a few other things done that I gotta work on here.
Referee Jacob Macalo has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes 14 seconds of the very first round. Tonight's winner by submission due to a guillotine choke, Robert Boxella. I'm here to win that. So I'm about to say that I'm trying to fight for you. You speak English.
What is going on here?
Very strong wrestler and grappler. We weren't prepared for anything, but I was kind of thinking.
That's weird. You don't see a lot of guys bring their opponent up for the interview like this.
Look at this guy next to me. Translated to me. Look at this guy next to me. Like, no, for the man. We're basically. We would be brothers. But today, unfortunately, we both have to fight because that's how we make a living. It's the job we chose. And I say, Serbia, you can your fucking warrior country. And honor to fight here, and honor to fight such a guy like Kingston. When I do this, I know you like this, but guess what? Today, first of all, is Swiss National Day, and this in Switzerland is the sign for our country. Well, congratulations on the best moment of your career, Robert Valentine. Robert Valentine on the road.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. All right, so I just got a message back from Andrew, so I'm going to check this really quick. Co-promoting this one or more, like showing the guy how then he's going to buy the show from us and I'll just be matchmaking for him a few years. He will do everything else.
Well, 2 weeks from tonight, the stars will be out in the city of London. Stars, the pound for pound competition makes the first event in the WWE welterweight title in the underdog challenger. Fans to the body protest, or this is an Irishman who, let's just say, is not here for the fun. Greatest fighters in Irish history. A wise Irishman once said before me.
So you sent me the name of the guy who is their co-promoter. Not familiar with him, so I'm gonna have to contact this gentleman. All right, let's see here. So yeah, going Rakic next fight. Give you my prediction on the co-main event. Well, I'll give you my prediction right now in the co-main event. Gotta go Navajo Sterling. Yeah, he's taking the fight a little short notice. Blachowicz, I feel like he's kind of past his prime, and Sterling has been super impressive. Undefeated, 10-0. Trains with a great fight camp. Beat Kulaba last time. Kulaba was looking really good too, and then like he reversed him and finished him like in nothing flat. I don't know if there was an injury, what happened. Really impressive. Oh, we got Blachowicz, former champion. Look at his recent record. I know he had the draw with Guskov. 29-11, lots of fights, but 43 years old. Draw with Guskov, lost to Olberg, lost to Pereira, of course. Man, it's not been super active. 2 fights in 2022. Win over Rakic, who we're getting ready to see, and a draw to Ankalaev for the vacate belt. Lost to Glover by a rear naked choke. Before that was just on a real hot streak, but you know, being way less active of recent and not having the best results lately. Definitely going with Navajo Sterling in this matchup.
That's amazing. It reminds me of my UFC game, like UFC 66. I did the same thing in Vegas, but no one cared. I wasn't even there who it was. My wife was in the top row in the bleachers. Shot him in the performance check, though. Oh, yeah. All right, guys, up next, we were going to feature about the heavyweight division. That is where all-time light heavyweight staple Alexander Rokovich now resides. His UFC career came off with a fast and furious 6-1 start, but after some tough sledding of late against the division's lead, Rocky has been reset time to reach up to the land of the big man. So facing number 13 ranked contender and 14-time UFC winner, Roland Marchi Nomura, he has faced most of the best heavyweights of his era and at 40 years old, still turning back young contenders with his basic savvy and skill. Tonight we'll see what Cash for the divisional newcomer, Alexander Rokovich. We're watching UFC.
Oh. All right, I'm going to step away for just a second and mute my microphone. Oh, all right. Put my sound back on. So Rakic versus Tabura coming up. I am going Rakic in this one. Alrighty. Oh. 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 All right. So it's not a lot of people on here right now. All right. Rakic fighting out of American Top Team. Oh. Check it out. So Rakic in this one, Navajo Sterling in the next one. That main event is really a tough one to call. I'll look at records here in just a few minutes. What's Rakic's weight? $237.5. So he's a legit heavyweight, not like the light heavyweight who moved up on a few days' notice for that earlier fight. He was doing well at the start, but he just could not deal with that power. All right. Back to my preview here. What's going on? There we go. All right. Yeah. I think Rakic's gonna do pretty good against Tabura here. He had the Serbian flag, fighting out of Vienna, Austria, but fighting out of American Top Team. So yeah, all over the place here. If you have any ties to Serbia, you're fighting in Serbia, you're gonna, say you're a Serbian fighter. Right, here we go. All right, we're on. Rakic immediately looking pretty fast. We're on a good left hand there. Ooh, good step off by Rakic. Rakic looking pretty technically sound here. Tabura's got to make it ugly. Tabura obviously wants to fight southpaw. He switches every now and then. Really good punches by Rakic, and Rakic stepping off to his left. I'd like to see some body shots by Rakic. Rakic should go for a body kick, body knee, something, but set it up. or maybe a straight right to the solar plexus like we saw Nina Milosevic do earlier. Good body kick by Rakic. Rakic doing really good. Getting out of the way, circling well, not getting backed up. He's doing good, man. Like I said, I was not a huge fan of Rakic, but I'm liking what I'm seeing right here. Some good stuff. Brooke looking not fast on that right hand. Or left cross, I mean. Low kick. Rakic needs to keep circling off. Just pop that jab when they're standing in the same stance. Up, 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 up. Good movement again. Keeps getting back to the middle of the cage. Very good by Rakic. Burke comes in with a flurry. Rakic circles back again. Doesn't seem to have been phased by anything, so power advantage does not seem to be something Tibura has here, even though he's a lifelong heavyweight. Oh, good left hand by Rakic. Circles back again after Tibura rushes. Burgess, he rushes forward with these flurries. Rakic lands a shot, circles back to the middle. He's not being as busy as he was early on, though. Gets a little bit close to the fence and back to the middle again. Good stuff by Rakic here. Tibura, I mean, all he's got is that rush forward with flurries. Doesn't seem to have power. Oh, good head kick by Rakic. Hurts Tibura a little bit. Side low kick. Rakic doing good, switching stances now too. Circles back off. Ah. Oh, Tibura grabs a single. Rakic escapes and circles back to the middle again. Yeah, definitely. First round, definitely 10-9 Rakic. Good stuff so far by Rakic. Let's look at our main event. Oh, I didn't have the timer going that round, did I? Sorry, guys. Or maybe I did have the timer. No, I don't know what I did with the timer. My timer's not working right. What the heck? All right, there. There. Timer's reset. Obviously, a little bit of a layoff. for D-Rod. Oh, here we go. Round number 2, Rakic versus Tabura. Rakic definitely looked to have an advantage in round 1. Tabura trying to rush forward and throw some shots, but Rakic doing really well, getting out of the way, circling back to the middle. It doesn't look like Tabura has a big power advantage. Rakic landed a big left head kick on him also in round number 1. Both fighters switching stances pretty regularly. Spinning back fist by Rakic as he circles. We're moving a little bit better this round. Rakic, huge advantage, 32-16, and like 50%. He's trying to claim he got poked in the eye, but it was a closed fist. Let's see here. Oh, no, it was an open finger. All right. It's kind of like an open hand slap. What the heck am I smelling? After this fight or this round, I'm gonna go check and make sure there's nothing burning nearby. Some weird smell coming in through my air conditioner. Round 2 definitely been a little bit better for Tabura than round 1, but very close still. 2 minutes left. UFC returns September 12th in Glendale, Arizona. Gear up for action with the newest UFC styles from UFCstore.com now. Oh, it's high with a kick again. It's a good lead and by the sweater too. 20-5 is the record for Daniel Rodriguez. That's a pretty good record. 39 years old. They said he turns 40 on New Year's Eve. Decision over Kevin Holland. Knockout over Ponzinibbio. Split decision win over Alex Morono. Losses to Kelvin Gastelum, Ian Gary, who will be fighting for the title in a couple of weeks, and a loss to Neil Magny. Gaslam missed weight for that fight. Win over Mike Perry. Win over Kevin Lee. All right. Let's reset my timer. Why is my timer? Oh my gosh. I just need to reset this computer before I started. Why is my timer? Sorry guys, I'm gonna do an audio check real quick. Since everything else has been giving me issues today. All right, so they want Rakic to up his output in round 3. Round 2 close. Round 1 definitely I thought went to Rakic. So yeah, definitely needs to put the numbers out here in round number 3. Try to hurt Tybura. Would like to see some body shots by Rakic. Hit that big belly of Tybura. Okay, so 2018, according to one of our people on Threads. 1919, according to the second person on Threads. Yeah, a lot of people saying 2018. First time we've gone to round number 3. Oof, good kick, good step off by Rakic there. Very nice. Oh, it does go to the body with the right hand there. Tybura Anna on a really poor takedown attempt. Rakic turns him into the fence. See, here's with that weight advantage where Tybura should have it, you know, be able to spin him and hold him against the fence, but he's not doing that. Oh, good elbow by Rakic. Rakic body locking here a little bit. Digging, trying to pummel in. Another big elbow by Rakic. Very good. So he's been winning from the outside. He's winning from this clinch. Tybura trying to lock his hands. Has to go back to an overhook here. I'd like to see Rakic, elbow again, but he pushes back into him. I like to see him throw that elbow and separate. Try to land a good combination. Bit of a body shot there from the clinch. Really want to see him separate, land that elbow, separate, land a flurry. Does Rakic have some blood on his head? I thought I saw some blood. What is he doing? Yeah. Blood coming from around the eye of Rakic. Not sure how that happened. Knee by Tybura. Not sure why. He's still Trying to keep him up against the fence here. He's not going to get a takedown. Referee looks like he's about ready to separate him. There's a shoulder attack by Rakic there. Rakic throwing a knee to the leg. Some body shots. I want to see that elbow, and I want to see him then separate and throw a flurry. Then if he wants to go back to this clinch again, sure, but Rakic still clinching. Come on, Rakic. Come on, ref. Separate them here. I mean, nothing has happened in a very long time. There's a knee. All right, there. Tabura, man, I'm almost going to root for Tabura this round. And there's a fence grab. It's going to separate him. So he lost position because he grabbed the fence there, trying to keep him up against the fence. But we're down to no time left. I think Rakic is going to get the decision, but that last round wasn't great visually. All right. What the heck is going on with my timer? Oh, this is annoying me here. Exit this timer. Close it all the way out. Try to bring it back. I'm very annoyed with technical issues today. Time to run my other screen. Timer back over here. All right, hopefully the timer works better now. No comments in the chat today. I definitely feel like Rakic did enough to win. Also lost to Ian Gary by a knockout for Daniel Rodriguez. 3 wins in a row. Then spent 8 months in Mexican prison. But spent, what do you say, like 5 of that in like a VIP cell, training all the time, improvising punching bags, hitting pads. Pretty crazy. But let's look at Medic. 13-3, so not nearly the experience. And this computer's running slow too. Oh, my gosh. All right, let's see. $30-27 on all 3 judges' cards. Yeah, like Rakic. All right, so Medic went over Jeff Neal by a knockout. Went over Muslim Salikov by a knockout. Went over Gilbert Urbina, who we saw earlier, by a knockout. Did get knocked out by Soriano's, he's pretty tough, man. A knockout win over Tim Means. Lost by a neck crank to Oroblai. Went over Sellenberger, over Morales. Lost to Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner's pretty good, though. All right. 100% finishing rate for this guy, too. What is wrong with my mouse? Man, I swear. Technical issues everywhere today. Oh my gosh. This is really annoying. Let's see. 13 wins, 0 decisions. Yes, 100% finishing rate. Man, I'm a big fan of Daniel Rodriguez, but I think I got to go Medic in this one. So I'm going Navajo Sterling in the next one, in the co-main event. I'm going Medic in the main event. Said I wasn't going to give you my prediction until the co-main ended, but I gave it early. So let's look at my main card. So 5-3 on the first 8 fights, the prelims. Got these first 2 wrong on the main card. So I'm 2-2. 2-2 on my main card predictions so far. Let's see what happens on these next few fights. If you're just joining me, we are watching UFC Fight Night, getting ready for the co-main event, Jan Blachowicz versus Navajo Sterling. I'm picking Sterling in this fight. All right, just sent a friend request to the guy who is co-promoting these fights coming up. All right. Light heavyweight fight coming up. Jan Blachowicz against Navajo Sterling. So Blachowicz is actually the one ranked a little bit lower right now. Navajo Sterling being undefeated, ranked number 10 at the moment. Paul Felder. So the other night, I was trying to think of Michael Bisping's podcast partner since Anthony Smith left, and I could not think of it. It was Paul Felder, who was his broadcast partner today on this card. A lot of mixing up at light heavyweight. So, obviously, Navajo Sterling, I believe, trains with the current champ, so they probably won't be fighting each other, but can move up in the ranks by beating a former champion tonight. That will definitely get him closer to a title shot, but like I said, he probably won't take it as long as his training partner is champ. But I like to see him fight somebody up higher in the top 10 if he gets this done against Blachowicz. Blachowicz, not a pushover by any stretch of the imagination. This could definitely go the distance. I just think Sterling definitely has the youth on his side. Striking is really clean. Goes to the body really well. Good ground and pound. That Kutlaba one, I still don't know what happened there in that reversal. If there was an injury to Kutlaba at that point, it was strange. Kutlaba looked like he was doing really well that fight, and all of a sudden he just turned it around and put Kutlaba up against the fence on his back and finished him. Nice. Daniel from Integrity Painting will be sponsoring this new fight event. All right. We're going to see if there's anything interesting in the fight world going on right now. Let me go back to my slides here. Is there other stuff I was going to talk about today? Okay, that was PFL fights from last night. Yeah, this is our card in a couple weeks. August 15th. Makhachev versus Gary, Dern versus Robertson. I really feel like they're trying to get Dern a win before she loses to Wei Li. But, I mean, Robertson's no slouch. This could be interesting, but I do feel Dern has a huge advantage on the ground. Barbosa versus Rubovics. That's a good fight. Can't think of who else is. Orablaya, obviously really good. Turner versus Fernandez. That's a good matchup. Luque score. Why do we only have one early prelim? It's a really short, small card. You got 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 10 fights. Why is that? Let's look back here. Wait. Bring this back up because I already have. What in the heck here? Come on. Yes, I'm very annoyed with my computers today. Okay, I thought this was already open.
Yeah.
All right, let's look. Fight coming up in Defense camera. Really psyched for these fights the next 2 weeks, man. Fight night next week is a good one. Let's see how many fights we got. It's showing 12 fights here, so I don't. That poster is not complete. I'm not sure why. Unless some fights fell through and they just haven't pulled them off of here. We have Charles Johnson versus Jose Ochoa. Dante Johnson versus Luis Fernandez. Stolfus versus Abdul Malik, that's a good fight. Also, Neo Magny versus Burry Maj, that's a good fight, man. These are good fights, really good fights. Okay. Yeah, that's looking pretty sweet. Let's look at next week's card again. All right. Next week, regular time fights. The next couple weeks, Lemos versus Tanera in the co-main event. That's a good fight. Fighters we know at lightweight. That's a good fight. A good heavyweight fight after that, or prior to that. These are actually really good fights for a fight night next week. And this main event is crazy. This is a really good main event. I'm stoked to see this one. All right. So getting ready for Blachowicz versus Sterling. All right. Co-main event. Yeah, like I said, I mean, barring injury, I do definitely feel like this fight goes the distance. I mean, if Sterling were to get a finish, that would be really good for him. But it's tough against a former champion, super experienced opponent like Blachowicz, who's been in there for 5 rounds with Izzy and so many other top fighters. Oh, a little bit of a slip there, but he gets right back up. Nice, nice, nice by Sterling. And Sterling looks huge. I know he took this fight short notice. He still made weight. Said he was partying, having fun. Got the call for this fight a couple weeks ago. Said, yes, I will definitely fight a former champ on a couple weeks' notice. Good that he's staying so active. It's showing Blachowicz ranked number 4 and Sterling ranked number 15. Is that right? Let me go back. Let me go back to our rankings here. Oh, oh no! Sterling looked like he may have gotten phased there. Dropped down to a knee. It's that huge test for him against a former champion. What happened here? He did get caught as he came in. Might have more knocked him off balance than hurt him. All right, trying to get back to my rankings here. Rankings. Oof. Good body shot. That's one thing we just saw in the highlights a few minutes ago that he excels at, is eating up the body, and you don't see that as much in this light heavyweight class. So that's a really good aspect of his game. And he hits Blachowicz with the right hand and drops him. Blachowicz just covering up. He's got guard here, but he needs to control him and not just eat shots, or Mark Goddard will step in and stop this fight. Oh, man. He's going to finish him. I did not think this was going to be a finish. I thought Blachowicz could stay in there with him, but this is going to end it. That's it. That is it. Wow. Huge win over a former champion. What? By his eye. Yeah, he split him, rocked him with a punch, knocked him down, and jumped on him and finished him. Let's look at those light heavyweight rankings, because I swear they just said he was ranked 14 or something like that. Or, no. Okay, let's see here. Yes, Blachowicz was ranked number 4. I was looking at that wrong or something. I don't know what I just saw when they had it on the screen. And yeah, dropped him with that punch. So that was a beautiful shot. Rakic. Okay, so he was ranked number 15 going into this fight and just beat the number 4 ranked fighter. So yeah, that is a huge jump. Now, like I've said, these rankings are jacked because they still have Alex Pereira ranked. He has moved up. They still have Jamal Hill ranked. He is obviously never fighting at light heavyweight again. So, yeah, man, what do you do with this guy next? On just over a week's notice, he comes in, beats the number 4 ranked former champion of the world in the first round. They just broke the modern record for the most first round knockouts on or first round finishes on a UFC card too. Nope, I never stopped my timer. Okay, now my timer's working. I don't know what the heck. I've had so many issues with my computer and internet and everything today. All right, if you're just joining us, we just saw Navajo Sterling come in on like just over a week's notice and beat Jan Blachowicz by a knockout in the first round after he looked like he may have been rocked early. I think it was a matter of he got knocked more off balance because he stepped in and got hit, but then he came back, drops Blachowicz, and finishes him. Tore him open with an elbow, and he just never recovered. I did not see that happening in the first round. I thought he was going to have to beat him by a decision. Super impressive. Always impressed with this guy, though. This guy he is really, really good. I'm going to turn up the sound so we hear if he does a call out. I can't turn up the sound with that remote. Okay, I'm going to turn up the sound over here.
To be able to share the ring with former champion Jan Blachowicz, man. I'm actually a massive fan of Jan. You know, because he plays games and he's a big Witcher fan, just like me. So, yeah, honestly, I was, you know.
That's funny. I forgot about the fact that Jan Blachowicz is a big video gamer.
We're all fighting each other, so it can only be one.
And apparently so is Navajo Sterling.
You took this on about 2 weeks' notice, so not much time to game plan, but if you see it on the big screen, you dropped him with the right hand and then just sliced him open with elbows.
Bam! Right hand perfectly placed. So now what the heck do you do? Because now he's going to move up to number 4 rank. Maybe Roundtree when Roundtree is ready. Maybe, man, Paulo Costa. That would be fun.
I missed my sister's 21st, but that's happy birthday, Dante.
Is he going to call somebody out?
I think she'll forgive you. Obviously, you're going to be in the top 10. You've only been here less than 2 years, which is crazy. But you're in the top 10 come Monday morning.
Just beat number 4. I think it's been top 5.
Yeah, Roundtree or Costa.
There you go. The two guys I said. Roundtree and Costa.
Well, congratulations on all the
Wow.
success and the stunning performance.
All right,
Winner,
so
ladies and gentlemen, Navajo.
how did I know he was going to say that? I just said I would like to see him fight Roundtree or Costa, the guys he called out. Huh? How did I know that? Yeah, that's what my grandson always says about everything he ever says. How did I know that? How did I do that? Yeah, that was awesome, and I love the call out because it's the guys I said I would like to see him fight. So heck yeah. I did that the other day with the. How did I do that? I did that with saying that I wanted to see Chonko fight Drew Dober, and then Drew Dober does a video, and that's the last guy he says is he'd like to fight the Russian who just won on in Abu Dhabi last week, the Russian Muay Thai guy. So that's the fight I would really like to see. That or Bobby King Green. Man, either one of those are great fights. Chonko versus either of those two dudes. Obviously, we saw Drew Dober knock out Bobby Green. I would probably rather see that fight, but I mean, if they want to work Chonko up to that, I know neither guy is ranked, but I mean, a win over either of those guys, definitely Chonko fights somebody in the top 15 next. And the other fight I'd like to see for Chonko would be a fight with Mauricio Hufi. That would be awesome to see. And I hate going against Daniel Rodriguez in this fight, but you got to go with the guy, the younger guy who is, 100% finishing rate. It's just crazy that this guy, that story of him being in a Mexican prison for 8 months, and once guards there realized who he was, they put him in basically a VIP cell, gave him stuff so he could train. He had a TV. I think he said he had an Xbox in there. And the guys he was cellmates with were holding pads for him. And they looked like they were good trainers. I mean, hey, you're a UFC fighter. We got this boxing coach who's incarcerated over in that cell. Let's move you over there so you can train for your next fight while you're in prison here in Mexico. That's just, I mean, how does that even happen? That's mind-blowing. And I just realized you can't see all of the rankings here because I've got this window moved over too far. Let me fix this really quick. Yeah, all right, so Carlos Ulberg is the champ, recovering from a knee injury in the fight where he won the belt over Prochazka. That's another thing, people criticize Conor McGregor. They're like, well, the Ulberg blew out his knee worse. Well, Ulberg's way younger, hasn't had the damage, and hasn't probably lived the tough life that, we've seen from Conor McGregor in the last few years that he hasn't been fighting. So, a younger, more active fighter injures himself, he's probably going to be able to hang in there a lot longer than somebody pushing 40 who hasn't fought in 5 years and coming off of another, catastrophic injury prior to that. Man, I really want to see. So if I could pick matchups right now, we're probably not going to see Ulberg till next year. If we could see Ankalaev versus Yuri, I would kind of like that. Obviously, Pereira's not in there. Blachowicz just lost to Navajo Sterling. The fights Navajo Sterling called for are the ones I want to see at number 5 and number 6. Jamal Hill is moving up to heavyweight, so he's not in there. Whitaker. What do you want next for Robert Whitaker? Johnny Walker? Guskov just lost. Maybe Mirzakhanov. Dominic Reyes versus Robert Whitaker would be interesting. How did Dominic Reyes move up in the rankings without fighting? I believe he's coming off a loss, and somehow he's moved up a spot in the rankings. I guess because Guskov lost. I think him and, okay, the two of them were tied or something for that spot, and then Guskov just lost, and Reyes lost. No, he got the win over Johnny Walker in his last fight. That was a really not fun fight to watch. Both guys did not want to lose, and so they just fought not to lose and not to win. Olberg was the one that ended Reyes' winning streak. Reyes back on a one-fight win streak at this point. Yeah, I would not mind Reyes. Reyes versus Whitaker, that's one I can definitely get behind. Okay, it kicked me back over to the meta rankings instead of the media rankings. All right, back to here. Okay, so yeah. Whitaker versus Reyes. That, I'm calling for that matchup. Both guys who fought at middleweight. Dominic Reyes, you know, a guy who should have been champ. Everybody thought he was champ, that he had beaten John Jones 3 rounds to 2. Horrible judge's decision. He got robbed. Man should have been champion. Of course, yes, he would have lost the belt to Jan Blachowicz next fight. But, I mean, they fought for the vacant belt next fight, and Blachowicz beat him, knocked him out. So, he had a little bit of a losing streak after that. What should have been a win to Jones. All right, what else can we talk about while we're waiting for this main event? Yes, I'm going Euros in this main event. Even though I'm a huge fan of Rodriguez, and I love the just crazy story of what he went through this last year. I'm sure it wasn't fun, but I mean, hey, at least he made the best of his time in prison and got to train. Yeah, I'm still just really interested in seeing what the pay-per-view situation or the streaming situation is going to be, television situation will be for PFL MVP going forward. They're saying that they're not really going to like phase out from PFL to MVP until January 1st, but they're going to still be involved. Man, I'm super excited that we're going to have MMA in Grand Junction, Colorado again. Sent a friend request to the co-promoter, and I've been in contact with Andrew about it. So, yeah, super psyched to hopefully be in some way involved. Really love to be, huh? My wife would like to fight. She's crazy. I did say I would come back for one fight. Anthony Ford, full Muay Thai rules with MMA gloves in the cage. I'd come back for that at 185 and knock his teeth down his throat. But that's the only fight I'm interested in coming back for. And I would even do that in October. All right. D-Rod coming to the cage. Actually, he looked pretty lean in the shots we saw of him earlier. Probably has a record for the most tattoos. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of this guy. I hate picking against him. If you watch this on the replay, please click on that link, my referral link, sign up with Rumble, and watch every time I go live. Every time I go live, it is always on Rumble. YouTube, I do probably 80% of the time. If it's an MMA news thing, I do Facebook also, but I cannot live stream live. I can't change my privacy settings when I'm streaming the way I do on Facebook until after the live stream is complete, so you can only watch it as a replay. That's why I don't do these ones during live fights on Facebook, because it would be pointless to do a live watch along when you can't watch it live. Did try to advertise this stream a little bit before we started. I was not expecting a ton of people on here. I've had a few moments where I've had a few people watching at once. We'll see when it's all said and done what my numbers look like. So let's go back to fights we're watching right now here. And so where am I on my predictions? Picked Sterling, I picked Rakic, I picked Valentin. So I started out the main card. I had the first two wrong. And now, so I'm 3-2 on the main card so far. Wait. No, I said that wrong. Wait, no, I am 3-2. Because we're on the main event right now. Yeah, like I said, D-Rod really reminds me of Chris Lieben back in the day. Very similar if you look back at Chris Lieben's style. Lieben may have thrown more kicks. If you look at Lieben before the Anderson Silva fight, he was on a tear, man. He was knocking guys out left and right. Dude would get hit on the chin, throw a left hand, and knock his opponent out. Remember the fight before Ultimate Fighter with Mike Swick, where he did that? Swick hit him with a shot right on the chin, and he threw a left hand right as he was getting hit, gets hit, and then knocks out Swick with the left. Rodriguez, being a southpaw, has that very similar style. Here we have Medic coming to the cage right now. Now, D-Rod not ranked, right? Medic ranked 14. I didn't see that a second ago. Let's look. Let's go back to the rankings here. All right. Where are we at? Here we are on welterweight. D-Rod ranked number 15. Okay, so he is ranked number 15, and Medic ranked number 14. The winner of this probably gets to fight maybe a Joaquin Buckley. Mike Malott already has a fight, or Malott is fighting Buckley. That fight's already made. Usman remains to be seen what Kamaru Usman's going to do next. Leon Edwards, bad string of luck for him lately. So, yeah, but, I mean, the winner of this could fight Leon Edwards. I mean, Leon Edwards needs a win. He's going to have to fight somebody down in the rankings to make a comeback. Gabriel Bonfim, Jack Della Maddalena on a bad streak, two losses in a row. Really looking forward to fight 2 weeks from now for the welterweight belt. And I think too many people are counting out Ian Gary. You know, whatever you think of the guy personally, yes, he's kind of a dork, kind of annoying, but skills do not overlook this guy's skills. Do not overlook that reach and size advantage he's going to have over Makhachev. Makhachev has not had to deal with that. Jack Della Maddalena, not a big welterweight. And everybody that Islam fought at 155 had made or could still make 145. So he had size advantage over everybody he fought in that weight class. It is really going to come down to just absolute technique against Ian Gary. If Gary wins, I really hope he rematches with Carlos Prates, and then I hope Carlos Prates knocks him out. Ian Gary, like we said, has the significant stat of being the only man to not be knocked out by Carlos Prates in the UFC, and also has the he's the only man to not be finished by Shavkat in his entire career. Hopefully we get to I heard them say like winter of 2017 for a Shavkat return, which sounds weird because I also heard that he's training and ready to come back. So 2027, that's a year and a half away. I hope if he does come back, man, I would love to see Morales versus Shavkat. Now Morales is weighing in as the backup. So doing that, I mean, we've seen fighters do that before and they don't get the next title shot. I'm sure he's getting paid, to cut. I mean, they said he was 220 pounds. So he's coming all the way down to 170. Has to make championship weight for a fight that he's probably not going to get to do here in 2 weeks. I'm sure he's under 200 by now, but still, that's a lot. We got Jason Herzog. Herzog has stayed away from any controversy. They had the whole betting thing, and people were saying Herzog was in on it. I don't believe that. I'm sure you can look back at any referee's calls and say, oh, maybe this guy was getting paid off. But I don't think he would do anything like that. I like Jason Herzog. I think he's a pretty good referee. All referees make bad calls. I don't think he's one of the worst referees. I would put him in probably top 3 or 4 referees. I mean, obviously Mike Beltran and Mark Goddard are my 2 favorite referees. I don't know if people have favorite referees, but I think they're the 2 best right now. They have the least questionable calls, but I don't put him far below, And then, what's his name? A little short guy. I haven't seen him ref much lately, but maybe there's something going on with him. All right. Main event. Right, man. This introduction feels like it's taking forever. 13-3. I thought it said 14-3. No, 13-3. For some reason I thought, oh, he's ranked number 14. That's where I got that number 14 from. All right, if you're just joining us, we're getting ready for the main event. I am calling for Uros Medic to get the win in this fight. But man, I love D-Rod. Love the whole crazy story of time he spent in a Mexican prison prior to this fight. But I think this is going to be a good matchup. Medic has a 100% finish rate, though. And he didn't spend a bunch of time in prison recently. Yep. All right. I started my timer early. All right. Man, they took forever to start the fight, too. Just like they did with the... I don't know what's going on. All right. Both fighters start southpaw. Medic goes with a good outside low kick off the left leg. Now, I'm trying to remember if Medic. Ooh, good outside low kick by Rodriguez. Knocks Medic off his feet briefly. Pops right back up. Oh, Medic lands big shots. Drops him. Oh, wait, this is over. This is over. Wow. Holy smokes, man. That has never happened to Daniel Rodriguez. Okay, so I was just comparing D-Rod to Chris Lieben. That was reminiscent of Chris Lieben, except it was faster, of Chris Lieben versus Anderson Silva. I think Chris Lieben lasted a little longer against Anderson Silva, though. Holy smokes. What is going on? There's like flames in the crowd. What the heck is that about? Did I just see that guy that Sam Alvey was talking about in the crowd? Man, it looked like him. King Azulov or whatever his name is. Could have been somebody else with a big beard. I'm not sure. That was ridiculously impressive. Wow. Okay. So it was a left cross. The right hook hit him in the chest. And another left cross hit him right behind the ear. They're moving, so we don't call those as, you know. And then he threw a knee as he fell, kicked him in the body while he was down, and just starts dropping lefts and rights down on him. Wow. I'm glad I didn't switch cameras because I got a dog upside down over here showing off again. Dang. All right. So if you're watching and you want to leave a comment, I would love to see a comment in the chat. Tell me what you thought of these fights tonight, this morning. They need to start calling them fight mornings when they have them in the mornings instead of fight nights. I know it's nighttime there. Dang. That's a tough one for D-Rod. He was looking pretty good right up until that left hand. That dude has got some power. I'm going to turn up the sound so we can hear interviews here. Not quite that loud, though. All right. So you can hear the interview.
I'm here for the winner. Wow. The love that they have for you in this building is ridiculous. But your last 5 fights have been insane. 30 seconds is all that took.
30 seconds to knock out a tough fighter like Rodriguez.
This is incredible.
Hopefully he speaks English here in a minute. I know he speaks perfect English. Lives in Alaska. I believe originally from Serbia. Longest active knockout streak in the UFC with 4 in a row.
I couldn't feel like home, even though I was on my home sort of. And now we got the job done, and I just want to cry, man. I just want to cry.
You know who I want to see him fight? I want to see him fight Gabriel Bonfim.
It's a long time. I left this.
None of the other names really stand out to me. I would like to see him fight number 5. Even though he fought a guy lower than him in the rankings, he's going to pop him up a couple spots, I'm pretty sure.
because it can't be safe. With all the years away from home, I have so many words. I don't think we have enough time tonight. With that being said, I'm gonna cook the rest of this division. With you guys by my side, we're gonna bring the belt to Serbia.
The most finishes on any UFC card ever. The most finishes ever. And of course, you topped it off.
The most finishes on any UFC fight card ever. That's crazy.
Who do you want next?
Listen, there's Brian
12 first round finishes.
Carlos Prates. He's way ahead of me in the division. This would be the fight to remember.
We'd like to fight Carlos Prates.
If he decides to come out of the hole he's shoving himself into,
Yeah, he's not going to call it Bonfim because not as many people know Bonfim. Man, Edwards, the losing streak he's been on, this would not be a good matchup for Edwards. Edwards would be crazy to take this. Maybe JDM. I mean, he's only on a 2-fight losing streak, but he's ranked number 4. Prates, not going to do it. Prates is going to wait for the belt.
finally home.
Well, congratulations. Sensational performance.
I like the Bonfim matchup, but they probably won't do that just because he's not as big of a name. I mean, it could be a main event on a fight night for sure, because they both have won now main events on fight nights. Who did Bonfim just fight? It wasn't Bilal, was it? Bonfim just had a win over Bilal Muhammad. Okay, it was. 20-1 is his record. Man, I don't hate that fight. I wish, yeah. It's not going to call out a guy who's not as well known. Calling out a former champ or the number 3 ranked guy definitely makes sense. Definitely don't think he's going to get Carlos Prates, number 2 ranked guy. But JDM, definitely that would be within reach. All right, so let's really quickly go back and look at my overall picks for the night. So what, 4-2 on the main card. Main card started out rough. I got those first 2 wrong. Let me refresh this really quick. Oh, I mean, but who would have thought Urbino would beat that dude, man? What the heck? That came out of nowhere. That was really shocking. So I got those first 2 wrong. Then I got Valentin, Rakic, Sterling, and Medic all right. So that is 4-2 on the main card. Look back at the prelims really quick. I'm going to close things out for the day. I'm going to shut both my computers down. It's driving me crazy. All right, so I got those first 2 wrong, and then I got the rest of the prelims right. No, I got the last prelim wrong. So of 8 prelims, went 5-3 on my prelim picks. Pick this one right, pick this one right, pick this one right, this one right, and this one right. And I'm going to go back and watch this fight because I did not get to see that. So yeah, 5-3 on the prelims and 4-2 on the main card. All right, I'm gonna call it good for the day. Get off of this, maybe eat something because I have not had anything to eat today. And I will be back sometime this week to talk more fight news. Like I said, if you're watching this later, definitely subscribe or follow me on Rumble. But let's call it good for today. So everybody, oh, I hope my timer hasn't been beeping this whole time. Get out of here, timer. Now my timer's freezing again. Go away, timer. All right. So, yeah. And I'll hopefully have some news about this new event in Grand Junction. I would love to be live streaming cage side, have video of what's going on in the cage, have me and somebody else sitting there commentating. I think that would be a blast. I love doing that. And I mean, who knows what could come from that. So, especially if they were to get, the fights on Fight Pass. That'd be crazy if I someday got to commentate on Fight Pass. But for now, I'm going to call it good, and I will catch up with everybody later on in the week. So have a good one. Hope you enjoyed the fights, and enjoy the rest of your weekend and stream. End.